All right, this is a terminal that I always wanted to try myself and understand how it works. So this is a Suckless terminal, and I was looking for something, to be very honest, that is very fast, that is very basic. It does not come up with very fancy features, right? And honestly speaking, I just wanted to try it out because it's cool. Okay, that's very blunt, that's very honest. I wanted to look cool myself in my own eyes. So why not give it a try, right? So let's go ahead and show you this thing. So I am right now in Windows terminal. This is how it looks like. I'm in a full screen mode, so don't worry about it. But when I open ST, it does open a Suckless terminal. So what I've done is I've built it locally. So by default, this is how it will look like as well for anyone who is trying to get started. But let's go back to the Suckless terminal folder. So this is our folder where I have actually attempted applying some patches. Okay, but let's get back to the features it has first so that you guys get interested in what we are trying to do, right? Um, so let's make it, probably let's zoom in. So for that I have, by default, it comes by default, should be Control Shift Page Up, right? So what that does is it just zooms in for you. So page down will be, of course, zooming out, and there you go. So right now I'm trying to open new Vim over here. So as always, like, you have to do Control Shift Page Down for you to uh, adjust the font size. Okay, so I'm, this is the config they have over here, for example, right? And there are a lot of shortcuts that you have to manually define if you want them over here. This is like any other terminal that you would be using, like Kitty and Alacrity. You will of course have to have a config, so they also have a config. It's just like this time you have to build it again for you to be able to use it, right? And then kind of call it and store it in your binary and just call it, right? So you can have many other features. You can have a default shell, you can have configs, you can have a alpha. So let me show you. So this is right now, okay, this is probably not good. Let's, okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. All right, so as you can see, like, you can also have transparency enabled, although it doesn't look good this way. But what I generally do is I will do this way. There you go. And this kind of looks decent to me. Like, I can start typing. I can look in the, like, think of the background as my own NeoVim background, or the terminal background, and something like how I can use it as well. So it's very fancy. Of course, it looks cool, which was one of the purposes. But coming back to the main point. Now let's stay in the ST terminal for us to properly try it out. So let's go to the. I hope I'm in the ST folder, right? So I'm in the ST folder. What this does is very basic. It's very few lines as well of code they have written. Okay. Um, let's go to the patches folder. So let me show you how these patches are working. So what I've done is, like, I can also change the theme. So let me do Alt 0. Okay. Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3, Alt 4, Alt 5. Sorry for the light theme. But you can see, like, what I'm doing is I'm pressing some key mappings. Okay. And I can show you what it's basically doing. So there is a color scheme patch. What it does is it adds around 5 themes, and it adds all of them as available colors. And what it does further, so these are the color themes they have added over here, and these are the mode keys. So mode key is like alt over here, alt 1, alt 2, alt 3, alt 4, up to alt 9. So okay, I thought they have only 5 themes, but it looks like they have more than that. And you can of course toggle as well. So probably Control Alt 0 will toggle. Yeah, there you go, right? So all I'm pressing is, by the way, Control Alt 0, and that will toggle for you. So these things are really interesting. But when you look at the code, right, when you just try to understand what it's trying to do, it's very simple. It's not very complicated as well. If you try to go and look at any modern terminal, it will come up with so many graphic things, comments, PRs. Very hard to find which line of code does something. So it's very basic C. You can immediately understand what it's trying to do. All right, so this is of course like update bg color, right? It's going through each row and column, and then I think all it's doing is basically toggling it to the new background, right? So this is very interesting stuff. Of course, I don't know how this is so performant as well. So for that, I think I need to understand how it works. But for example, next scheme, what it's doing is it's trying to find the next argument, next color scheme, and if it is something that is greater than or equal to the length of schemes, then of course you should go back to the first one. It's like a circular thing, right? So once you're done with the length of themes, you can go back to the first one and start again. It's like simple thing, right? It's very easy to understand. Then all you're doing is update scheme, which will ideally go over here. I think you must have defined Yep, somewhere. Yeah, there you go, right? So update scheme is defined over here. You can take a look. Update BG color is background color, FG color is foreground color, resize, redraw, that's it. Ta-da, right? Amazing stuff. One specific patch that I loved, and this, like, of course, before I go on, how do you apply the patches, right? How do you get started? Now, honestly speaking, I don't want to create a video on it, because once you go and read the documentation, once you read how to apply each patch, I think the learning is huge. But what I did was, like, I followed this command, which basically whatever patch you have, I stored it in a patches folder for myself, and I can just apply them. Generally, what happens is you keep applying patches, and on the top of them, there will be some rejections as well. So let's go to one of the, actually, you know what? Let's stick to Vim for now. Right. So over here, as you can see, these were the rejected patches that did not work. Now, always make sure that the patches were successful. Otherwise, things will not work. It will not even compile. So that's good. Right. So what happens is, now suppose just before this code, what you have done is, see each patch, if I understand clearly, okay, maybe, yeah, it's still rejected, that's why it's not working. But what happens is, let's say each patch, let's actually go to a patch, for example. Let me open the terminal, guys, 1 second. Yeah, so this is a terminal, right? When you go to the patches, these are the list of patches that are available. Now, what I did was I started with the very first one. I went ahead and applied alpha patch, right? What happened with this is, let's say it changed the maybe st.h file to add extern float alpha, right? But there's another, it could be, let's say probably, let's pick up any other one. I think for screen patch might have something in st.h as well. Yeah, there you go, right? Now what happens is, by any chance, if your previous patches applied something after void draw, now this patch will not be successful, because here they are assuming that void draw is the last line, and after that void first screen should come up, right? Now what that means is, when you open st, and you will see, like, when you are done with applying a patch, what happens is, this rejected file, like whatever the patch that was rejected, will show up. It will manually tell you that, hey, your patch has been rejected, and you should go and look at the rejected file, try to apply it manually, okay? And once you start typing yourself, you will understand what's really going on. Like, no matter how much I say, I know you guys, when you do it, you will understand, because when I did myself, I understood so many things. So it's something that I would recommend to all the enthusiasts about terminal or whatever, to give this a try. It's amazing. Once you start doing things, you understand how things are working as well. And when you're resolving patches, trust me, it's not going to be easy. Okay, it's not like, okay, just have to type. You also have to understand, okay, should I change the argument name because some other patch changed it to something else? So by any chance, also, like, look at the patches. If they are changing something that is very complex, I would suggest that do not apply that patch, because if you're doing complex things with Suckless Terminal, I think it defeats the motivation of using such a lightweight terminal. In that case, just use something that already exists, right? But let's say if something changed it to something else, right? And now this patch is applied, right? But there's another patch that wants to do something. Let's say they want to rename it to something else, right? Now, of course, it's going to be used somewhere, right? So for that, you'll have to understand, okay, what are the references? Where should I change? Etc. Etc. Right? So I think these are the things that you should look for. And I think I can show as well. Okay, probably RG key printable. Yeah, there you go, right? So once you change it, of course, you will have to change in all other places as well. And once you start doing it, that will motivate you to understand, okay, what's really happening. At some point of time, you will know how a terminal works, like Suckless Terminal, and that will give you a really good idea. So I would say, guys, give it a try. There's so many things I want to talk about Suckless. I will start using it, hopefully, and I can make more videos about Suckless as well. But overall, hope it motivates you to give it a try. Let's do. Okay. I'm really sorry. Okay. All right, guys. Take care. Bye bye. Hope you enjoyed this video. Ta-da.